I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. As if on cue, as Special Counsel Jack Smith appears to be very close to making his charging decision against Donald Trump for Donald Trump's theft of thousands of government records and obstruction of justice, the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives swoop in to try to obstruct Special Counsel Jack Smith's efforts, just as the MAGA House Republicans have done before with the Manhattan District Attorney Jim Jordan. The MAGA Republican who heads the House Judiciary Committee wrote a letter on June 6th of 2023 to Merrick Garland demanding that information be released about Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation into Donald Trump. I mean, you have all this effort by MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives to serve as Donald Trump's personal obstruction of justice bureau. We don't hear about the MAGA Republicans trying to pass legislation that actually helps the American people, that focuses on jobs or the economy, on healthcare. No, their priorities are focused on just doing whatever their cult leader tells them. Here's the letter that Jim Jordan sent to Merrick Garland on June 6th of 2023. Dear Attorney General Garland, the Committee on the Judiciary is continuing to investigate the Federal Bureau of Investigation's unprecedented raid of President Trump's residence at Mar-a-Lago on August 8th, 2022. We previously requested information and documents related to the FBI's raid on President Trump's residence and its subsequent investigation. It's a footnote to one of the other letters Jim Jordan sent. Because you have not provided this information, and in light of your appointment of Jack Smith as special counsel, we write to request an unredacted copy of the memorandum outlining the scope of Mr. Smith's probes regarding President Trump and any supporting documentation relating to his appointment as special counsel. Let me make this point clear. Donald Trump is not the president anymore. If you want to call him the former president, the label is still a disgrace to our great nation. But these MAGA Republicans treat their cult leader like he is currently the president of the United States, and it is disgusting. Let me proceed. Accordingly, please provide the committee with an unredacted copy of the memorandum outlining the scope of Special Counsel Smith's investigation pursuant to his appointment on November 18, 2022, and any other document describing, listing, or delineating the authority and jurisdiction of the special counsel as soon as possible, but no later than 5 p.m. on June 20th, 2023. It's Jim Jordan setting an arbitrary deadline. The Committee on the Judiciary has jurisdiction to oversee the activities of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, pursuant to the rules of the House of Representatives. Please ask your staff to contact committee staff. Then it gives a phone number there if you have any questions about this request. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Jim Jordan, Chairman. I always want to mention this about Jim Jordan because it goes to just the lack of competence. We'll get to corruption in a moment, but the lack of competence among MAGA Republicans. Jim Jordan, who sent this letter, who now chairs the Judiciary Committee for the MAGA Republicans, is not a licensed lawyer. He never passed the bar exam. Now, do I think that is disqualifying him to do other professions? No. But should that disqualify him to be the leader of the Judiciary Committee? Absolutely. His character should disqualify him from any of the other positions that probably exist, because here is someone who covered up for sexual abuse that took place at the university where Jim Jordan used to work, and called victims, crying to the victims and telling them, please don't report this. Please do not tell anybody. There were numerous whistleblowers who talked about Jim Jordan. I guess that's what makes you qualified to be a MAGA Republican. But let's talk about the corruption here. Yet another effort by MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives here to serve as the Bureau for Obstruction of Justice for Donald Trump, not the president, a private citizen. And all of the resources, all of the attention by Republicans in the House of Representatives has been spent supporting Donald Trump, supporting the January 6th insurrectionists, attacking the FBI, attacking the Department of Justice, attacking our democracy, attacking Capitol Police officers, making things less safe here, and consistently gaslighting the American people. The Republicans aren't talking about issues, again, like jobs or the economy or healthcare or Social Security and veterans and students and no. They're talking about how can we help our cult leader, Donald Trump, like the letter that you just saw here. This comes as MAGA Republican Matt Gaetz. What was his big announcement on June 6th, the same day Jim Jordan sent that letter? Matt Gaetz, his proposal, if you guessed doing something for our economy and for jobs or for Social Security or for healthcare, you'd sadly be mistaken, but I bet you that was not your guess. Matt Gaetz, his proposal to hold in contempt of Congress Mark Pomerantz, who used to work at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Remember, the MAGA Republicans subpoenaed Mark Pomerantz as part of their efforts to interfere with the criminal investigation and then the criminal charges brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Well, Mark Pomerantz, who used to work for Cy Vance and then resigned under Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, Mark Pomerantz showed up. He sat there for 6 hours. There were certain things that he could testify to, certain things that he couldn't testify to, didn't answer a lot of questions because, similarly at the federal level with Special Counsel Jack Smith, sources and methods and a lot of what takes place before a grand jury, almost all of it, is classified. It is confidential. It is not something that the public is given access to until the criminal charges are brought. So here, Mark Pomerantz said he cannot testify on things because it's part of confidential grand jury proceedings. But he showed up. Unlike the MAGA Republicans, they did not show up when they were subpoenaed because they were witnesses to what took place on January 6th and, frankly, co-conspirators. They didn't even bother showing up. Pomerantz showed up. He sat there for 6 hours, said, I can answer this question. I have to object and assert a privilege with respect to that question. But there you have it. That's Matt Gaetz looking to hold Pomerantz in contempt to attack the Manhattan District Attorney's investigation. Here, Marjorie Taylor Greene's post. This is what she's focused on. Impeach Biden, impeach Mayorkas, impeach Garland, impeach Wray, impeach Graves, impeach everybody. Do they want to impeach anybody who actually supports law and order? Let's impeach them, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And here is James Comer talking about how he wants to hold FBI Director Christopher Wray, a Republican, in contempt as well of Congress, because even though Christopher Wray showed the MAGA Republicans this document confidentially, the MAGA Republicans want it released to the public, and the document is a previously discredited complaint made by a foreign asset to the FBI that MAGA Republicans want to funnel and launder as evidence against President Biden when Bill Barr, Donald Trump's Attorney General, rejected it. And finally, let me just show you. This is what Bill Barr said earlier today on the classified documents investigation. Play this clip.
Based on the facts, as the facts come out, I think over time people will see that this is not a case of the Department of Justice, conducting a witch hunt. In fact, they approached this very delicately and with deference to the president, and this would have gone nowhere had the president just returned the documents. But he jerked them around for a year and a half, and the question is, did he deceive them? And if there's evidence of that, I think people will start to see that this says more about Trump than it does the Department of Justice, and that is that he's so egotistical that he has this penchant for conducting, risky, reckless acts to show that he can sort of get away with it. It's part of asserting his ego, and he's done this repeatedly at the expense of all the people who depend on him to conduct the public's business in an honorable way. And, we saw that with both impeachments, and there's no excuse for what he did here.
Folks, it is rare and frankly astonishing when I find myself agreeing with Bill Barr on something. But this is about law and order. There is no excuse for Donald Trump's conduct. The law, the investigations, it should play itself out, and ultimately a jury will be the final word on this. But the MAGA Republicans want to use their fascistic, anti-democracy, pro-Donald Trump cult to try to interfere with our systems that we have. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have Jim Jordan, James Comer, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. Let's wake up, people. And we got to vote for competence. We got to vote for democracy. Period. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Have a great day.
Hey, Midas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.